Hey everyone, welcome to today's new features webinar. We're going to wait just a couple more minutes because there are many people that have signed up for today and are still joining. But in the meantime, let's get to know each other. So tell me where you guys are from and what industries you have here with us today. Feel free to write your answers in the chat box. While you're writing, I'm Mayan and I'm a customer experience manager here at monday.com. I'll be walking you through the new features demo today, and we have very exciting updates coming for you right from the oven. Before we start, you should be able to see my screen, but if you can't hear me or see the screen at any point, just let me know in the chat. I can see that we have many people that are still joining from all over. I can't even keep up with the pace in the chat. We have people from the States, Italy, Spain, from Mexico, Panama, Vietnam. All right, that's hello, everybody. So nice to see you with us today. Today's webinar will be broken down into two parts. The first one is a demo of the new features and enhancements we have made in the last month, which I will demonstrate using a made-up use case I have created. This will provide you with more interesting context to the new features and capabilities. As you can see, we have quite a lot of new features and additions and improvements that are including our new template store with pre-made solutions of any industry and vertical that will help you to start off easily and get some inspiration. We have our multi-board mirroring that is finally a possibility. This enables you to connect many boards to each other and display accumulated data from different types of columns. We've enhanced and improved the layout of the formula interface in general. We have a new week number option in the date and timeline columns, which will help you to understand the bigger picture of your planning. We added the option to archive items with our custom automations, which will help you to clean out your board and keep it neatly organized without lifting a finger. We have a new voice note option for writing updates and replying in the mobile app, which is currently supported only by the iOS app. For the app of the month, we have Aircall, which is a monday.com marketplace app that will enable you to make calls from within the platform and fully utilize Monday as your CRM. We will finish with some information on our annual user conference, Elevate, and sneak peek at our new community forum. Those last two, which I just pointed, are not feature related, but are a crucial part of your journey as a monday.com experts. As you're quite a lot here today, I'll try and cater to everyone's needs, both those of you who are rather new to the platform, but also to all of you monday.com savvies. The second part will be our live Q&A, where I'll be answering some of your questions live. It's worth noting that I'm joined today by two of my amazing colleagues, Danny and Avios. You can say hello to them in the chat as well. They will be answering some of your questions as we go through the demo. And I just want to take a few notes before we officially start. Number one, please put your questions in the Q&A box. We'll answer them as many as we can in the end of the session. Please do not include them in the chat box. Those are two different kinds, and we won't have the time to scan through the chat, only in the Q&A. So we can start submitting the questions if you have now or during the webinar, or all at the end, and we'll address as many as we can. You will hear me and see my screen towards the whole demo. If you cannot do so in the middle, please write it down and we'll try to resolve and improve the quality if there's going to be any issue. And the questions that comes a lot from the start, we will record this session. It will be recorded and uploaded to our monday.com webinars on demand, and it will take up to 70 hours after this webinar over here. Okay, let's get started. Welcome to my monday.com account. So if you enter your URL at Monday, you're going to get here. For our use case today, let's close all the files. All right, for our use case today, we'll be using a simple project management board, which will help me to demonstrate and dive into the new features that we're going to cover. To save some time, so we could go over the things that really matter, I have pre-made a few boards in advance. Our main board will be the high-level all project board. As you can see here, the groups are months, the items are projects, and we have a few existing columns, and we will add a few more soon. This is a classic high-level board that lays out the main details of the projects and the planned for the upcoming months. I chose this generic example to simply, or actually of this single project board, so we can all relate to it and imagine your workflow in here. Besides our high-level board, I have saved as templates 3 low-level boards, one for each department in my low-level templates folder. One for operations, which you can see the structure is very unique for operations with operation tasks that I have, such as manage stock control, communicate changes, ensure health and safety regulations. I have another template for my marketing department to set goals of the marketing campaign, messaging alignment, and that is divided into stages: planning, design, content, and channels. And I have my design department, again, for upcoming projects, things that are still waiting for approval, and active projects. Each low level of the board that I've just showed you is a department level, right? And each department not necessarily needs to know what the other department is working on, and the work on the day-to-day basis is different. I just want to clarify something before we proceed. When I mention templates, as you can see here with a star icon as well as next to the board's name, a template is when you save a board structure for later use. You can save a board as a template and later on use it from the template store. As you can see here, you can click on the 3 dots, go to more actions, save board as a template, and create it as a template here. And now I can see that the star icon was added. I can go to the add button to choose to add a board from a template, see more templates, go to my personal folder, and I can see the 3 templates that I have made and the one that I've just added. I'll click use, and that will add it to my account, but I won't do so now because I have it existing already, and I will remove the template from this board. Besides those self-made templates, the monday.com Template Center offers a variety of templates customizable for every industry, business, and team. And now it has a brand new look, which you can check out monday.com.templates, as you can see here. So here I have different verticals which you can use the templates for. The new template center on the monday.com homepage includes recommended best practices for the types of columns, boards, and views and automations in order to get the most from your board. So for instance, if I will go to under project management, I can choose a solution, click into it, and then go over the general overview with explanations. I can go over the columns with explanation and most popular columns to use. I can go to different views, automations, and integration. And as easy as that, use this template in your own personal monday.com account. So back to our use case. Our mission right now is to connect the high-level board to the low-level boards in order to create a holistic and synced workflow so that we can see from the high-level board the summary of what's happening on all of the low-level boards without having to keep switching boards. This is, of course, great for getting an overview, especially for managers who wants to see things in one single place. How do we do so, you might be asking? Well, you may or may not be familiar with our fan favorite capability of syncing information from one board to another through the connect boards and mirror columns. Up until now, you could connect a board to a multiple boards, but then you would need a mirror column for each separate board to pull the column information into the connected board. Might be confusing, but you'll see very soon what I mean. We've just added the game-changing option to mirror multiple boards in one column. Let's see how to set it up in a few simple steps and take a look at a couple of example use cases for a long-awaited feature. I'll start by adding the connect boards column on my high-level board. I'm going to click on the plus icon over here, and we'll add the connect boards column. Now I have this pop-up telling me to choose which boards I wish to connect to this board over here. I'm going to click it and select all three templates, one for my operations department, one for my design department, and one for my marketing department. If we want, we can also connect our low-level board to the high-level board by checking this box here, which will allow us a two-way connection. That will actually add the similar column on each one of the low-level board. Let's connect the boards all together. I'm gonna add the mirror column separately very soon. And let's call this tasks, just tasks. Okay, so I'll click into the cell and I would be able to see that now I'm connected to all three boards. And I can go ahead and choose the operation one and connect to the create and monitor projects and teams from the operations board. So after selecting this one, I will go to the operations board and I can see that the same column will be automatically added as you've just seen live. I didn't touch anything. And project one is selected, right? Because on the high level board, I chose this item, create and monitor, under project one. And now the create and monitor projects and teams is connected to project one. Now, in order to pull the status of the tasks associated with this project, we need to first add a mirror column to connect it and actually connect the mirror column to the connect boards column. So let's gonna go and do so for three different mirror columns. I'm gonna go ahead and click add, see more columns, check for mirror. I'll just note that each mirror columns needs to be affiliated to the connected boards column in order to know where the data should come from. So now I'm connecting the mirror to the task column, which is the connect board. I'm gonna choose status for all columns and I will show all labels. And currently I'm seeing the status of the create and monitor projects from the other board, right? The status there is stuck. I'm gonna do so 3 times. Let's change the status here to be, the header to be status. I'm gonna add 2 more, one for our date column. So again, a pop-up will jump, link to the tasks column, change this to date, due date, date, they're all dates, and that will represent earliest to latest. You're gonna change the name to date, excuse me. And the third one would be the owner. So let's add that one as well. Link to the task board. I'm gonna choose the owner. I can see that I'm bringing the owner from each board separately. And all the data is mirrored, as you can see. Now is when things starts to get interesting. So in order to proceed, I will uncheck the item here. I have added the following automation to this board. When status changes to something, create a new board based on the templates that we just showed you guys and notify someone. In my case, when the status will change to design, create a new board based on the design department and notify the design department staff. I have one for each different department that I have in my company. Now, if I'm gonna go ahead and change the status of this column over here to operations, a new board based on this template will be created under my board as you've just seen over here. Of course, I could create a new board manually from the template store, but I prefer to save my time by automating the process. So I'm gonna change this one to marketing and this one to design. So 2 additional boards will be created underneath here with a notification notifying me that a new board for the design department was created, a new board for the marketing department was created, and a new board for the operations department was created. I can click on the specific notification, and that will directly to my new board that has the new created connect boards column. So I would like to connect all of the tasks on the operation board to project number one. And I will do so by using batch actions by clicking the first item using my shift keyboard shortcut, and then the lowest one and all the items in between will be automatically selected. And now every change that I'm going to make to one item will be applied to all items at once. So clicking into the item project one, that will select all of the items. After checking all items, that will automatically show on the high level board, as you can see here. Just let's wait a second for it to load, exactly as you can see. So now all tasks from the operation board is selected, and I can see all the mirrored data into my mirror columns, which is status, date, and mirror. I can see the range of dates, which is 7 days. The first task starts at August 13, and the last one is August 19, and I can see all the assignees. All right. A cool trick that you can use, which is not mandatory for the workflow, but will help you to automate things even further, is the item default values, which will automatically fill up the data in certain fields for newly created items. So if I'm going to go ahead and click here on the item default values button, I'll show it again for people who haven't seen it. Item default values on the top of your board. I'm going to click into it, click into the connect boards column, and choose project one, save the changes. Now, every new item that I will create, in this case, let's make a test item, 1, 2, 3. It will be created, assigned to project one immediately. Let's just have a second. I can refresh my page. Exactly, you can see that it was appeared over here. And if I'll go to the high level board now, I can see that the newly selected item that was created is added automatically to this board. So any new tasks that I now add to my operations board will be automatically assigned to project number one. All right, so let's now go ahead and select all items from here with the same trick of batch actions. We can choose project two. And for that design, we will choose all projects all together because we need to go over those projects for the 3 different projects. In this case, I'm going to choose project 1, 2, and 3 and go back to the high level board. I can see that all tasks are now being assigned. I can see that for project 1, we have 12 tasks with all the relevant information. If I'm going to click into every mirror column, I can enlarge it from here, and every change that I make here will be affected in the low-level boards. Let's see that for our test item. So test, I'm going to enlarge it. Let's fill the person to be myself, the date to be today. I'm going to check it. The status is going to be done. I'm going to be giving myself 5 stars because why not? And set it to be important. Now, if I'm going to go to the operation board to test, I can see that all of the data is filled. And if I'm going to unassign myself, erase the date, change the status to stuck, to urgent, and 1 star, all changes will be reflected on both places. I hope I managed to convey my point over here. So this is bi-directional linkage. Every change you make to one board will be reflected in all other connected boards and mirror data. In this example here, this is a single connect boards column that connects data to few different boards. It just shows you how it expands the range of possibilities you can use monday.com for. From sales and CRM to marketing and content production, the new multi-board linkage will allow you to have a separate low-level board for each team, individual, project, or event, and still connect them all to one central board to manage the big picture with a two-way synchronization. This just shows you the incredible flexibility of the platform where each user adapts monday.com to their own needs and specific workflow. I just want to add that when using the connect boards column, the number of different boards that you're able to connect to a single board varies according to the plan type that you're on. On a basic plan, you can connect up to one board. When you're on the standard plan, you can connect up to 5 boards. When you're on the Pro plan, you can connect 20 boards to each connect boards column. And when you're on the enterprise plan, up to 60. Additionally, on each board, you have the ability to link up to 10,000 items in total. We keep these limits in place to ensure a top-notch performance of your board at all times. So if you just forgive me for a second, I will have a quick sip of water and I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, thanks for bearing with me. Another new and useful feature is the addition of the week number in the date and milestone columns, which is perfect for long project planning and any date related task. So if I'm going to click into my date column, I can see that I have a visibility of all the days of the week. Now, if I'm going to click into my column settings and check the new show week number checkbox and click right into the date again, I can see that I have this additional column on my left side to indicate which week is it of the year. The next improved feature that we want to cover is the formula column interface. And in order to do so, I will use our CRM template, which you can easily add from the template store. As I showed you earlier, you can just click on the add button, choose from templates, search for more, either from our monday.com/templates or from within the platform. Here, search for CRM in this case, click into CRM and use this bundle of boards that will provide you a full solution for your CRM need. So in this folder, which I have downloaded before, we have our contacts board that will show you the name of the contact, any field that you want to add to it, the company, the title, the type, priority, the link to the specific deal with this client, his phone number, email. You have the sales pipeline board to sum up all of your upcoming deals with bi-directional linkage to the contacts board with the contact itself. So I can open Avios, for instance, here and see all the information regarding this contact in context of the specific deal. I can see the mirrored company, the deal age, the deal value, close probability, and really any field that you want to add here. We have our lead capturing board, our sales dashboard, which you can see very useful data with our widgets, such as actual revenue, average value on one deals, different charts to represent how my agents are doing. And just keep in mind this field over here, which we're going to use our formula and will be filled very soon. We have our CRM Learning Center dashboard that will teach you how to use this solution. Really a top-notch videos that we have, explanations, checkboxes, steps to success, and an additional board that I'm going to show you very, very soon. So going back to my sale pipeline board, when accessing the formula column, which is called forecasted value. So if I'm going to click here, I can see that this is a formula column. If I'm going to click in, you can easily see that instead the old structure of having the columns, functions, and constants in the same section, now we have divided them into 3 different sections, which improves the visibility and the overall experience when performing a formula of any kind. Besides the sections, we made the string box larger for long and complex formulas. Let's see how easy and fun the new layout is to use. In order to calculate the forecasted value, I will take the deal value that I have, in this case, 70,000 for the first item, and multiply it by the close probability, in this case, 50%. In order to do so, I will use the multiply function, and let's see how. I'm going to click into the column, go and open the columns, the functions section. I'm going to scroll down and look for multiply, and then close this section, open the columns, and look for deal value, comma, close probability, set formula, and then I can see that 50% of 70,000, 35,000, and so on. So the formula is doing the calculations for every item in the row. I just want to note that when you open the function area, if you hover over each different function, you can see a very easy reading example of how to use it. So in my case, it's not that I have to know how to use it, but just you use the multiply, then use the first value, comma, second value, and that multiplies it. The same goes for every different formula that we have here with explanations on how to use them. I hope you have all tried out our amazing automations. To take it right back to basics, here is where I can find my automations on the board. Automations remove the need to perform any manual and repetitive tasks, meaning you can have those to the monday.com platform to actually solve for you. So you could focus on the things that really matter. The custom automations work exactly like the regular static automations and recipes. As you can see here, we have a different variety of them by status, recurring due dates, or just basic ones. And the custom ones give you the extra and additional flexibility and customization. When I click on the create custom automation button, as you can see here, so I'm going to do it all over again. You're on a board level, you click on automations, go to the automation center. Those are the existing automation that I have on my board. I'm going to go to automation center, create custom automation. I can see that I have a list of triggers such as status change, date arrival, and item creation in this case, which when those things happen will trigger an additional automated action to occur, such as to notify someone, to create an item, or to send an email to someone. You can even add more than one action to each trigger, as you can see here. So for this case, when an item is created, notify someone, and then create an item, and then send an email, and then create an update, and so on. Each field here is customized. So then notify, I can write whatever I want to write and tag whoever I want to tag from my team. I can create a new item and choose which fields it will have and really customize every new item that will be created. I can send email and choose who I want to send it to. So really everything is fully customizable. So you might be asking, what is the new addition here? So because all of us are using custom automations, or at least we're encouraging you to do so. Our newest addition here to the custom automation capabilities in general is the option to archive items based on a certain trigger. An example could be when a status, for instance, when the stage changes to done, then archive the item. So I'm going to click on the more options. As you can see, I have a very long list here. I can look for archive. So when stage changes to done, then archive item. I'm going to create the automation. This automation will give me the capability to keep my board clean and tidy at all times. Let's see how it works. So now the stage has changed for negotiation, not to one in this case, but rather to done. And now this item will be archived and disappeared from my board. Of course, later on, I can restore it from the archive section, but that's really another way to clean up your board. So I'm going to have a quick additional sip of water, and I'm going to be right back with you. All right. Moving on to our next feature, which is something for all of you mobile app users. Let's say that I attended a meeting with a client, in this case, Danny, and I want to summarize the meeting while I'm on the go. Now, instead of typing out the meeting summary, I have the option to use our new voice recording feature to record myself and post it on the update section of each item using the mobile app. Let's check it out together. I'm entering the update section to the second deal number 2. So I'm doing it here on my computer, but alongside that, I'm doing the same on my mobile app, and I am currently clicking the recording button. I hope all of you can hear me. I attended a meeting with Danny, which we discussed, and we scheduled another meeting for next week on Sunday at 10 a.m. Remember to send him the invite, please. And I am sending the message, which will automatically populate from my mobile device, as you can see here. So let's just close and open it. Now I can go ahead and download the audio file. I'm gonna open it, bring it to the center of my screen. Hopefully you can see, and I will click play. I hope all of you can hear me. I attended a meeting with Danny, which we discussed, and we scheduled another meeting for next week on Sunday at 10 a.m. Remember to send him the invite, please. Okay, guys, hopefully you could hear that. Hopefully I spoke loud enough. I just want to say that this is great for anyone who has a team member who are out in the field when typing long updates might be not possible. That's a way not to be left behind and continue operate as you would if you could type. Just a small note that I mentioned before, this feature is currently rolled out only to iOS mobile app users and will be available for Android in the near future as well. Let's move on to our next subject for today, the app of the month. With monday.com apps marketplace, you can find ready-made apps to expand the capabilities of the monday.com platform and fit the unique needs of your businesses, workflow, processes, and projects. You can access the monday.com marketplace by clicking on your avatar, go to apps marketplace. The apps marketplace contains apps developed by a third-party developers, as well as apps built by the monday.com team using the apps framework. With the help of the apps, you can automate and integrate your data in new ways and collaborate more effectively across your organization. Just like your mobile device that can do so much more thanks to the apps that are installed on them, the same goes for our apps marketplace. So I want to talk with you about the app of the month, which is Aircall. I'm gonna look for it, as you can see here on the top bar, and click into it. Aircall is a cloud-based phone system that connects with all of your business's tools. Sales and support teams of all kinds use Aircall to connect with their customers. It's easy to set up and add numbers, create users, build teams, and customize it as you need. With the monday.com and Aircall app, you're able to log calls into the appropriate boards, as well as to make sure important information from the monday.com shows in your Aircall app when you make or receive calls. Do note that installing apps on the monday.com side can only be done by admins on the account, and you would need an Aircall account for this app to work. Now, let's see how it works in action. Let's go back to our sales pipeline board. I'm going to go ahead and call Danny from the phone number that you can see on the contacts board. So this is a really cool place where you can see the connect boards column take effect. I don't want to go to the contacts board to call Danny. I want to open the item card I can see here and just click the number I can see. An Aircall tab will be opened, and the phone will be automatically populated on my Aircall subject line here. Oh, excuse me. Let's just delete that. I don't want to make mistakes here. I'm going to click the number all over again, Aircall. That will populate the number, and I will call. Let's see if Danny will pick up. Hey, Danny. I'm good. It's mine from the monday.com team. I just want to show the people around here that I can even add tags, notes. I can start a recording for the call, which will later on will be populated um, into my additional board. Danny, thank you very much for answering. Have a great day. Bye-bye. I'm gonna disconnect the call. I can see the summary of the call from my Aircall phone, but that's not all. I have my Aircall board over here, which I can open and see the call populated and whom I called to, the call ID, the number, and the recording of it, who I called. Sometimes it takes a few minutes to populate here with the recording, but that just shows you the amazing ability the Monday can integrate seamlessly with almost any application out there and being the connecting tissue of your organization. We're getting to the end of the demo section of our webinar very soon, and I wanted to share with you our efforts to make monday.com as easy to use as possible for our customers around the globe in their native language. For this month, we now support our 14th language, Polish, which is added to Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, Italian, Turkish, and many more. We will even support more languages in the future. You can change the language of the platform by clicking on your avatar over here, go to profile, and on the upper right side, you can change it from English to French or to the new Polish language. Let's go back. If we learned anything in the past year, it's that change and challenges keep on coming. We've broken our rulebook multiple times. We're forced to think outside of the box and to adapt fast. And with that, I want to invite you to our next annual user conference, Elevate, where you'll have the opportunity to learn from experts and companies from a range of industries about how to reimagine work for the present and future. You would unlock insights on how to build, scale, and connect your organization, and while aligning with changing needs and bringing real impact to your own organization. So I invite you to go into Elevate by monday.com and to see the agenda, as you can see here, and register right away. Before we move into our Q&A, I want to point you to our new and improved community forum, which you can find here. The community experience has been transformed, making it the best place to get workflow inspiration, stay on top of new feature releases, find answers to your questions, and share feedback with us. So when entering the community, so community.monday.com, you will get here. Of course, you can sign up and register to the community and later on log in every time. You can see the most either latest topics or trending topics, which are divided by categories, announcement, FAQs, workflows, nonprofit, and you can even look for specific content. So let's see, let's do project management in this case. So this is the place to ask your questions, see other people's solutions, idea, and after registering, even create your own specific content. And that is all for the demo section for today. I just want to remind you about the additional available resources, which is our knowledge base at support@monday.com, our webinar hub with themed and advanced webinars, and the community forum, which I just showed you right now. Just before moving to the Q&A section, I'd like to remind you of what we covered today. We went over our new features templates, a new template store, excuse me, the new and advanced multi-board mirroring and connection, our new formula layout, and we showed you guys how to use the formula column itself. We showed you the new capability of the date and timeline columns to represent weeks. We went over some custom automations and the new option to archive. We went over our voice notes on the iOS app and the apps marketplace in general, and specifically Aircall to get you what you need for your CRM solution and fully customize Monday as your solution in general. So how are you doing Give me a sign if you're still alive in the chat. Feel free to write the feature that you like the most from today's feature webinar, and we'll move to the Q&A section right away. I will drink another glass of water, and I'll be right back with you.